Hi, hello, and how do you do? It's a new day, and we are going to read from the book of Genesis together. I'm going to do the reading, and you're going to hear me, and hopefully, you'll be able to listen to what God's telling you. Now that I have my handy dandy glasses, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, chapter 4. Adam made love to his wife Eve. That's a great start, right? And she became pregnant and gave birth to Cain. She said, "With the help of the Lord, I have brought forth a man." Later, she gave birth to his brother Abel. Now, Abel kept flocks, and Cain worked the soil. In the course of time, Cain brought some of the fruits of the soil as an offering to the Lord. And Abel also brought an offering, fat portions from some of the firstborn of his flock. The Lord looked with favor on Abel and his offering, but on Cain and his offering he did not look with favor. So Cain was very angry, he was jealous, and his face was downcast. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Why are you angry? Why is your face downcast? If you do what is right, you will not be accepted. But if you do not do what is right, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to have you, but you must rule over it." Now Cain said to his brother Abel, "Let's go out to the field." Sounds like trouble. I'm not going to be able to stop laughing all the way, so I'm just going to continue reading, okay? Let's go. While they were in the field, Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, and no, it's not funny. I know it's not funny, but it's just, you have he opens with, they're making love, they make a baby, and then one of the babies kills the other baby while they're out in the field over some jealousy. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting story. Jumping back in, I don't know. So Cain attacked his brother Abel and killed him. Then the Lord said to Cain, "Where is your brother Abel?" "I don't know," he replied. "Am I my brother's keeper?" Get an attitude, you see. The Lord said, "What have you done? Listen, your brother's blood cries out to me from the ground. Now you are a curse and now you are under a curse and driven from the ground, which opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood from your hand. When you work the ground, it will no longer yield its crops for you. You will be restless. You will be a restless wanderer on the earth." So he just told him, I know that you were born into the world and that you were taught how to be a grower and a gatherer of things from the ground, and this is how you survive. But I'm telling you right now, you're cursed because of the fact that you killed your brother. The blood from his body that soaked your hand and that now goes into the ground and brings forth a curse onto you, because I'm saying these words. You will never be able to grow anything from the ground again. It will be a desert to you. It will never be fruitful for you again, and you will be cursed, you and your generations that follow you. Cain said to the Lord, "My punishment is more than I can bear. Today you are driving me from the land, and I will be hidden from your presence. I will be a restless wanderer on the earth, and whoever finds me will kill me." So now he's scared. But the Lord said to him, "Not so. Anyone who kills Cain will suffer vengeance 7 times over." Then the Lord put a mark on Cain so that no one who found him would kill him. He made him easily identifiable in such a way that anybody that ran into him would know, you cannot kill him or his descendants, or you will pay 7-fold. So Cain went out from the Lord's presence and lived in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Cain made love to his wife, and she became pregnant and gave birth to Enoch. Cain was building a city, and he named it after his son Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Mehuel, and Mehuel was the father of Methusael, and Methusael was the father of Lamech. Now this is important because Enoch is an entire book of his own that was written and then pulled out of the sacred texts. As you know, the Bible that we have in America does not have all of the books in it. It is a very edited version of the truth, but that's why we have the Holy Spirit to guide us. I'm not going to get too deep into the story of Enoch. Just know that he is a very important character and that he is a descendant of Cain. Lamech married 2 women, one named Adah and the other Zillah. Adah gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock. This is telling a separation of tribes at this point. Each generation was sent out, just like Cain was a farmer and Abel was in charge of livestock. Each one of Cain's children are now being broken into generations, and they're sent out to continue their craft. So Adah gave birth to Jabal. He was the father of those who live in tents and raise livestock. His brother's name Jubal. He was the father of all who play stringed instruments and pipes. So he's in the entertainment industry. And Zillah, turn this page. These pages are very thin and I don't want to rip them. Zillah also had a son. All right, Zillah also had a son, Tubal-Cain. Tubal-Cain forged all kinds of tools out of bronze and iron. Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Adah and Zillah, listen to me. Wives of Lamech, hear my words. I have killed a man for wounding me, a young man for injuring me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, then Lamech 77 times. Adam made love to his wife again, and she gave birth to a son named Seth, and named him Seth, saying, God has granted me another child in place of Abel, since Cain killed him. Seth also had a son, and he named him Enosh. At that time, people began to call on the name of the Lord. So these are the separation of her first generation of children, and her second generation of children is very significant because anybody who has had a large gap in the generations of their children understands that there is a great shift that happens about every 10 years. And that's not a lifetime. 20 years is closer to a lifetime, but that halfway point is a huge change, a huge difference. And that 20 years, that's just getting too confusing. Just know that it's very important. Between her first 2, she waited a long time to have another child, and the child's name was Seth, and he was the rebirth of God's people because Cain had brought such shame to the family and such darkness. Even though Adam and Eve were already sinners, he created a whole nother realm of sin by opening up the gates and the doors of murder. And his descendants would continue to murder one another. And Seth was a blessing, a kind of restart with God saying, I have faith that you would have been a lot different had Abel still had been here. And so I want to give you another Abel, and you shall call him Seth. And Seth brought about a new beginning for people who started worshiping and serving God here again. And he, kind of like brought the light back to mankind. So that's where we're going to end here on, chapter 4, the book of Genesis. I hope to see you on chapter 5.